as Deion Sanders is trying to rebuild a roster that was probably one of the worst teams in the Power 5 in the recent season of 2022, he's also having to round out his coaching staff. And Deion Sanders is making a splash within the coaching recruiting carousel that he's in. But before we dive into it, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below about the impact of the hires that Deion Sanders is making at the University of Colorado. So, Brian Howe reported that Deion Sanders is hiring the University of Alabama's Nick Saban's guys, associate defensive coordinator Charles Kelly, to be his defensive coordinator at Colorado. And here's the deal. This is now the second high-profile recruiting or recruiting of the coaches that he has gotten since he's been at Colorado. Recently hired Kent State's Sean Lewis. Well, I say Kent State's head coach, Sean Lewis, as his offensive coordinator. So he was able to get a head coach to basically take a step down and come be a offensive coordinator for him. Now, when I look at Charles Kelly's, experience in college football, it dates all the way back to about 1990. And before this 4-year stint that he's had at Alabama with Nick Saban, he spent a year at Tennessee. He spent 4 years at Florida State under Jimbo Fisher, and 7 years at Georgia Tech, and then another 4 years at Nicholas State, and so on and so on. And when I look at Charles Kelly and the impact that he has had across college football and some of these teams and who he's been able to recruit, this is a home run hire for Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, because his alma mater is Auburn. He's not there yet. You were able to steal him away from a guy like Nick Saban, and Charles Kelly has been able to recruit the most elite of elite talent. Probably some of the most notable being Will Anderson Jr. Everybody knows who that guy is. Then you have the 5-star safety Caleb Downs this year for Alabama, which you kind of have to start wondering if that's going to start to fade away from Alabama, but we'll talk about that at a later date. He had Levante Taylor, the 5-star cornerback and his best recruit of all time in 2015 to Florida State. In 2014, he landed 2 5-stars in Joshua Sweat and Tarvaeus McFadden. This guy is an elite recruiter. Elite. Because when I look at some of the other guys he's gotten, no short of names here. And so when I look at what Deion Sanders is doing at the coaching level, he's not just going out there and trying to land big-time recruits. He's out there trying to land big-time coaching hires. He is really trying to say, we're taking this thing to the next level. And if you're a Colorado fan, if you're a Deion Sanders fan, this has to excite you. This kind of news has to incite you, because the impact that the hires that Sanders is making at Colorado is going to forever change Colorado's football program. And the way that we look at how somebody can go in and build a program that's quite honestly not very good. And so I have no doubt in my mind that Deion is turning this thing around, and he's going to ultimately end up turning the Colorado roster around, as last season they went 1-11. And so Deion, he had to go out there. He had to make splash hires, and, well, he's doing it in his first year as a Power 5. I will say this. If Deion is as successful as we think we are, he's not going to be at Colorado very long. So go ahead, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys are thinking about these hires that Deion Sanders is making. Do you think they're good? And what do you think the record for the Colorado Buffs are going to be for the first year?